when I think about ONPASSIVE being in a league of their own, I talk to Marty on a regular basis, as all of you know, and I know Marty has the same situation that I have. How do you determine the league that ONPASSIVE is in? You follow the money. And what does that mean? Almost on a weekly basis, I have individuals contacting me, and I know Marty has the same thing, and I'm sure there are other founders that are experiencing this same phenomena. I have individuals contacted me, and these are multi-million-dollar companies and billion-dollar companies. Now get that. And why are they contacting myself and Marty and some other founders? They want to get in front of Ash Mufareh. These individuals are very, very smart. They know what's happening in the market, and they've seen ONPASSIVE. And when you follow the money and you see the money rushing into ONPASSIVE, wanting to get a piece of it, and it's not that they're doing poorly. It's not that they're not making money. These are big hitters. They're making a ton of money. They want more, and they see that ONPASSIVE is the place where more is going to be. Oliver talked about traffic earlier, and again, these individuals see what's happening. When you look at the traffic sources that Ash Mufareh is bringing to the table and how this is evolving, number one, ONPASSIVE has the best traffic sources in the world. They're not secondhand. These are the best traffic sources in the world. Ash Mufareh is working with individuals that he's known for decades, and they know how to drive traffic. Marty and I were talking about it the other day, and we were talking, and we're saying, just look what we could have done if we had that traffic source. And of course, we laughed at each other because there's no way we could get that traffic source, because you would have to pay millions of dollars a month just to get in front of these traffic sources. Well, this is what Ash Mufareh has. This is what other people are seeing. And this is before ONPASSIVE goes viral and we become the traffic source, as Oliver said. But when you follow the money's coming into ONPASSIVE. They want a piece of ONPASSIVE. Now, we don't put anybody in front of Mr. Mufareh right now. He doesn't need any help. He doesn't need any money. And over time, these individuals might be able to get in front of Ash Mufareh. And I say might. And again, these are very, very big hitters, guys. It shows you where ONPASSIVE is, how big ONPASSIVE is. And we as founders are not the only ones that see it. These guys are coming in. They see what's happening with ONPASSIVE. Are we in a league of our own? Absolutely, no doubt about it. And the world is starting to recognize that, and they want in. They want a piece, but they can't get it because Ash Mufareh, his loyalty is to you and I as founders. We as founders are in a league of our own. And as Vincent talked about, as Oliver talked about, nobody comes into ONPASSIVE right now unless they come through us. Understand that. As a founding member, nobody comes into ONPASSIVE right now unless they come through the founding members, you and I. We are in a league of our own. This has never been done before. Oliver talked about it. ONPASSIVE is unprecedented. That individuals, just average individuals like you and I, and by the way, I don't think anybody ONPASSIVE is average and ordinary. I think we're above average by far. But we're able to come in, participate with ONPASSIVE, and what Mr. Mufareh has done has put us, we are the stalwart, we are the wall. No one comes through that wall unless we give them permission to come through that wall. And that includes the big hitters, it includes customers, it includes resellers, it includes everything. Everybody comes through ONPASSIVE. Not ONPASSIVE, but the founding members of ONPASSIVE. When you start to understand the situation you're in, when you start to understand Oliver, when you start to understand Vincent and Lynn, you start to understand how powerful a position that we're all in as we look at ONPASSIVE and what Mr. Mufareh has done for all of us. And then I absolutely love to follow the money and see the money start coming into ONPASSIVE and hitting that wall. They can't come in. They can't even get in front of Mr. Mufareh right now. Very, very rarely do Marty and I put anybody in front of Mr. Mufareh. Very, very rarely. It has to be a really special situation for us to do it. And I think other founders, they're in the same position. We just don't do that. We know that Mr. Mufareh has all of this under control. We know that ONPASSIVE today, it really is unlimited. And when you start to think about how unlimited ONPASSIVE is, where we're going, what we're doing, and you start to think about being in a league of our own, it's so easy. It's so easy to visualize that. And when you think about how many victories we're going to have moving forward as we go into the product launch to the global market and beyond, the victories that are going to be coming into ONPASSIVE is going to be, it's going to be terrific. And each one of those victories, you and I, as founding members, we get to participate in that.